Hopefully we will get goals in this game tonight as the two sides come out onto the pitch in front of a huge crowd at the Hawthorns, knowing it's an absolutely massive game. I did want to ask you, Chris, about fatigue, whether it will really affect them. 3 games in 8 days. They played last Friday night, they played on Monday night, Coventry. Do you feel like fatigue will affect them here tonight?
No, I think it's, they recover well. You know, it's nothing that the players don't know. The championship is relentless. Game after game, you have to just keep going. Injuries, albeit, you know, as a player, for me, I enjoyed it when the games came like this, because it's like you didn't really train so much. It was all about recovery, and you're still in with the group, but I'm sure the levels will be at its best this evening.
Can you call it?
I'm saying it's a home win. West Brom, I just think that was a little blip. Southampton here, you know, I think before that 5 successive wins here at the Hawthorns for West Brom, so that's the way I'm going.
Well, we shall find out, Chris. Absolutely, by the way, loving the championship this season because quality's there. Every match so keenly contested, and the drama will last right until the final day. That is absolutely guaranteed. These two teams gunning for Wembley at the end of May. No room really for mistakes in the race for a top 6 finish. A noisy Hawthorns our venue as 5th takes on 9th in a Midlands derby, live and exclusive to national radio, right here on Talksport 2. West Brom versus Coventry in the company of the former Wolves and Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo and our very own Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Hugh, and a good evening to you at the start of West Brom's new era. To say the previous regime was unpopular is a chronic understatement. Shilan Patel's takeover lifts a cloud over the Hawthorns, with the future looking bright. The stated aim, to return the Baggies to the Premier League as soon as possible, which could potentially take just 15 games. Now, the runaway form of the top 4 suggests the figure needed for a top 6 finish is going to be slightly less than normal, maybe in the very low 70s. So 6 wins from the final 12 games would seem to be Albion's passport to the playoffs, and with their running, they'd be frustrated to come up short. But Coventry are also eyeing the end of season circus for a second successive season, thanks to a stunning winter transformation that has lifted them from the periphery of the relegation battle to the higher echelons. Victory tonight takes them within a point of the top 6. Their form since November has been better than any of those chasing a playoff place with them. But can they now get over last weekend's rare aberration? Victory here would be an eloquent statement of intent. Let's remind you of the two teams. West Brom, Palmer in goal, Furlong, Keeperate, Peters and Townsend, Fellows, Yokoshlu, Mowat and Johnston, Diangana and Wallace. For Coventry, it's Wilson, Thomas, Latibodiere and Binks, Van Awijk, Palmer, Eccles, Torp and De Silva, with O'Hare off Ellis Sims. The one reservation I would have for Coventry tonight, Chris, is that their form away from home against the real big hitters in this division has been poor. They've taken only 2 points from their 6 games away to the top 8 so far. So how do they change that tonight? Yeah, well,
like you say, that'll be disappointing, especially for Matt Robbins, who has that confidence in the quality that he's got. The players just have to, like you say, step up. They have to be clinical. In those games, they have had real big moments as well, and it's a bit small margins, Jim. You know, I think that's the thing. You have to be clinical. You have to be ruthless. They showed that the other night, and they have to take that confidence into the game. Now here, they're going to be up against a very kind of well-worked tactical side, with and without the ball. But they've got energy. They've got individuals that can commit and create on their own and score goals on their own with the quality they have. So they have to just make sure that they take those opportunities.
And referee Lewis Smith gets us underway. Albion in their very thin dark blue stripes and white shirts. And they're kicking from left to right. They're defending the Brummy Road end of the ground here at the Hawthorns on a Baltic night in the Black Country. And Albion bringing it forward from the kickoff towards the edge of the penalty area. Ball swept inside the penalty area by Mowat. Couldn't quite get as far as Fellows. And then it'll be played down by Furlong to the edge of the penalty area. They're back again for Grady Diangana. Now to Okay Yokoshlu. Townsend playing it forward. Really good proactive start here from the Albion on the front foot from the very off. Coventry just able to get a foot in to be able to bring it away. And now the counter-attack could be on for them, because Casey Palmer's marauding forward and just played the ball to where Ellis Sims was rather than where he is. And it'll drift out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the West Bromwich Albion right-hand side. Well, there's an opening minute where the game has been really open. Both sides creating chances.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think Tom Fellows has to be a little bit more aggressive. He's kind of standing waiting for that. I think he's got to come across his centre-back and just make sure he gets that connection. And then it just shows you with Coventry that counter-attack. He likes a Palmer. He's tried to put in a hair there, and it was a poor ball. I think he's got to commit his defender.
So here's Binks at the back for Coventry. Firing it forward towards halfway, where Sims was very comfortably dealt with by Kipre. And Kipre getting it back for Alex Palmer. West Brom starting the night 5th with 56 points. Hull immediately behind them have 55. Then a slight gap to Norwich and Preston on 52. And Cov themselves on 51. So really tight between those 5. 2 places up for grabs. You would imagine that the current top 4 are going to end up in the top 4. It's just a question of what happens after that. And certainly the run-ins that the sides immediately below Coventry have are pretty tough. So it'd be hard to see the likes of Sunderland potentially manoeuvring themselves up into the picture. It does look as though it is going to be 2 from 5 between West Brom, Hull, Norwich, Preston and Coventry. Coventry at the back have it with Lati Bodier, who is playing at centre-half again today in the middle of the 3 centre-halves. They are playing with a back 5 when they haven't got the ball. Binks just going back to his goalkeeper now. Wilson taking an awkward first touch, but able to smite it clear with his second. Palmer with the dreadlocks going in, and it's come off Kipre and goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Coventry left-hand side. 2.5 minutes gone. Entertaining start of the game in the company of the former Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo.
Yeah, I think it is. I think West Brom without the ball, everyone knows their responsibilities. Coventry, they're a little bit unforced error from the goalkeeper, but good distribution. Casey Palmer, he shouldn't be. He's got the attributes, but it's not one of his qualities to go and win those aerial duels. Ellis Sims has to be commanding those areas and allowing Coventry to get up the pitch.
Here's Kipre at the back for West Brom, who've got a good home record. 5 of the last 6 league games here at the Hawthorns have ended in victory. And they'll bring the ball forward now. It's just popped back inside by Johnston to Townsend, the left back. And Kipre again with easy possession, bringing it forward towards halfway. Carlos Corberán cutting quite an animated figure down in front of us on the edge of the technical area. Just wanted a little bit more movement, I think. Diangana has got it. Just playing off Wallace rather than up alongside him in these early stages. A challenge comes in. They haven't won it back, Coventry, towards the edge of the penalty area. And then Torp, the Danish midfielder, a recent signing from Sarpsborg in Norway, wins a free kick on the edge of his own box. And the Coventry will be in no great hurry to take this. It's Binks spots it down. Centre-half is actually on loan from Bologna. He's a product of the Spurs Academy. He's had a very varied career for a player who's only 22. Had a spell in Canada, playing for Montreal Impact. He played in the 2nd division in Italy with Como. And as I mentioned, he's actually on the books of Bologna, but on loan with Coventry over the course of this season, and playing on the left of the 3 centre-halves today. Eccles working it wide. Van Ewijk, the Dutchman, playing at right wing back for Lati Bodier, and the former Manchester City man playing it for the Jamaican international, to the feet of Palmer. Good layoff from him down the left-hand side for De Silva. De Silva drilling it at Ellis Sims. It was a difficult one for him to control under duress, with Kipre keeping a very weather eye on it. And the Albion have got it back at the back with the vastly experienced Eric Peters.
Yeah, they're under very much in control. West Brom, I think Coventry, playing across the back, being patient with it, but as soon as it comes into the middle third, or attacking third, West Brom are organised in that transition, keeping it very, very well. I just feel that if they've got an out-and-out striker, there was a little bit of play there on the right-hand side. Furlong would just clip the ball into the box. Jed Wallace doesn't have those attributes, but still asks the question. I think tried to overplay when they've got Fellows and Diangana there, but defended well, Coventry did there in that moment.
Okay, Yakuşlu, the Turkish international midfielder, back for Kipre, seen plenty of it inside the opening 5 minutes here at the Hawthorns, where it's still 0-0 between West Brom and Coventry, 5th and 9th respectively at the start of the night, here on Talksport 2. Back for Eric Peters. Forward towards Okai again, and now Diangana, dropping into those little pockets of space, inviting Townsend forward to his left-hand side. Forward down the line from him is Johnston, the Irish international on loan from Celtics. A great piece of skill, cuts inside the area, and still he goes! That is a goal of the highest quality from Mikey Johnston. First blood of West Brom, brought it under control on the left-hand side. Then he had work to do. He took on Van Ewijk, cut inside onto his right foot, and skids a low shot across the face of Wilson into the bottom right-hand corner. What a start for West Bromwich Albion.
Excellent goal. What a finish. You said took on Ewijk there. He's just put it through his legs. Then he's running into the box, opens up the goal, just manipulates the ball, takes it onto his right. I've got to say, Coventry defender's got to get in his face. Far too easy. Opens up the goal and then he just puts connection. Excellent connection. Finds that far corner. I have to say, Ben Wilson has no chance whatsoever. It's an excellent strike from Johnson.
Well, he's made some impression in this brief loan spell that he's had. He scored against Cardiff after just 30 seconds, netted down at Plymouth, and it's now 3 goals in 4 starts for Mikey Johnston in an Albion shirt. 1-0 they lead in a fixture in which they have a fantastic record. And Coventry haven't even scored in the last 3 visits here. They've only netted twice in the last 8 meetings, home and away. And Johnston's goal, the platform to potentially the Albion doing the double over Coventry in the league for the first time in 17 years. And some goal as well, 1-0. Here's Okaya Kushlu, just turning beautifully away from Palmer near the edge of his own penalty area. And now played by Furlong down the right-hand side. They're in the mood here. Tom Fellows, a low skidding cross from him that is knocked away by the retreating Louis Binks and out of play for a throw. And do you know something, Chris? It doesn't really matter if you haven't got an orthodox striker if you've got players in wider positions that can do that.
Exactly. I've got to say, excellent there. Okay, Eric Peters, he comes in, reads the ball, an excellent ball down the channel. Callum Hale's trying to get in behind, reads it. What does he do? Breaks his neck to keep the ball in play. Kushlu, excellent at a turn down the right hand side for Fells to put the ball in. Really in the groove at the minute, but they've got to capitalise.
So it's a long throw inside the penalty, and it's a really long throw as well from Furlong, who got it halfway inside the box before it was headed away. Peters, urged to shoot, was never going to from 35 yards. Lays it out to his left. Low ball in towards the near post. Wallace trying to flick it on. Coventry at 6s and 7s at the back, but Laddie Baudier can get it away. And this is a lovely moment. Tony Mowbray, manager down the road at Birmingham, but very much a firm favourite amongst the Albion support for what he did here. And Tony being front and centre in everybody's thoughts at the moment, battling illness. And his image is on the big screens at both ends of this ground. His name is being sung, and the applause that you can hear is a tribute for Tony. Just carrying everybody's best wishes in the footballing family for a full and speedy recovery. See, it doesn't matter that you're the manager of a club 6 miles down the road. You're a good man. Good people acknowledge it.
No, spot on.
Coventry have it at the back. And Thomas will go back to his own goalkeeper. And this is a little test of resilience now, as far as Coventry are concerned, because remember they had that really bad start against Preston last Friday. They were a goal down in a minute, found themselves 2 down in next to no time, 3 down by half time, and now to find themselves a goal down inside the opening 10 minutes again is just going to be a little test of nerve and resilience for them.
Yeah, I think it's probably why Mark Robbins has went with that 3. It gives a little bit more with the qualities of the wing backs to kind of come in and protect.
Good ball from Palmer. O'Hare on the edge of the D. Ellis Sims to his left. First time shot. He snatched at it. And it cannons back off the hoardings in front of the Brummy Road end.
Now I'm looking at that, I think Callum Hale's put a little bit too much on that. I don't think he had to. Ellis Sims was in space there. Casey Palmer finds Callum O'Hare. Excellent touch, excellent first touch inside the D. I think he should get the shot away with the left. If he's going to give it to Ellis Sims, just take a little bit off that so he can come round, bend the foot round it and try and find that bottom right hand corner. But he did. The connection wasn't great, but there was a little bit of pace on that ball, Jim.
Now West Brom determined to play out from the back with Palmer and then Mowat, who worked it out towards the left-hand side. It was a poor ball that couldn't find Townsend, and Coventry end up defending a goal kick with a throw down towards the corner flag. But then Albion have done well to win it back. Peters flicking it off O'Hare, and it goes out of play for a goal kick that Palmer will take. West Brom starting the night 16 points off the top two, but probably more significantly 4 points clear of 7th. They will temporarily be able to extend that to 7 if they can hold on to the lead given to them by Mikey Johnston. This first game of the Shilan Patel era, who bought 88% of the club for 60 million quid, completing a takeover from the unpopular Chinese businessman Guochuan Lai. And he's had a good start. Here's Mowat with the layoff. A little 1-2 between him and Peters. And now coming into the Coventry half of the centre circle. Down to his right-hand side for Furlong. Dean Garner's got it. Knocked away from him by Eccles, but only as far as Okay Yokushlu. Albion good value for the 1-0 lead that Johnston gave them so spectacularly. We've played 12 minutes here on Talksport 2. And now Mowat will play it out to the left-hand side for Townsend, and back it comes again. Mowat faced up by Sims, working it square inside the centre circle. An angle ball hit with elevation by Okay Yokushlu. Here's Furlong, the son of a former Coventry man, Paul Furlong, getting his first taste of league football at the start of an illustrious career with the Sky Blues. Here's lad Darnell's played nearly 200 games for the Albion. And then a free kick is given for a foul by Torp inside the centre circle, and West Brom have got a problem.
Yeah, I don't mind it, Jim. I'm looking at that there. I think Mowat and Yokushlu getting far too much time and space. Then all of a sudden Torp, he's on his front foot, he anticipates it, gets the challenge and regains possession, and then gives it away sloppily, but then goes and wins the ball back again, and it's a strong challenge, but fair.
Well, play stopped, and the referee has in fact given the free kick Coventry's way. He said that the injury was self-inflicted by Okay Yokushlu, as he went in strongly with Victor Torp, and Torp was the aggrieved party. So Coventry taking the free kick. The change kit tonight of dark green and black, and in possession on the left-hand side with Jay Da Silva as one of 7 in this starting lineup who Mark Robins signed since the playoff final last season. Albion have it again, down towards the right. Furlong with an angled ball inside the penalty area is easily headed away, but it'll come onto the left foot of Mowat, who thought better of getting a shot in. Townsend then back out towards Johnston, and another chance for him to take on Van Ewijk as he did for the goal. And this time he runs the long way round him, low skidding ball, just evading Wallace at the near post, and Bobby Thomas is there to be able to knock it away. And now Coventry playing on the counter-attack, might be able to make ground into West Brom territory with O'Hare. And the dark-haired thick-set former Aston Villa youngster finds Torp. And towards the right-hand side, Sims making a run in the middle. He's got a glancing header on it. Palmer will let it run. Da Silva for Coventry on the left-hand side of the box. O'Hare back for Palmer. And leaning back, he's trying to pass it into the top right-hand corner, but a very high tariff chance. And it sails high and wide. 1-0 to West Brom.
Yeah, it's excellent play from Coventry. You know, playing through the thirds. Callum O'Hare very much involved on the right-hand side. It goes into the right channel. Great ball in. Ellis Tim's little flick on. I've got to say, Casey Palmer or even Da Silva, break your neck to get on the end of it. They regain possession, and it's like, say, that understanding between Palmer and Callum O'Hare at the edge of the box. A little bit of link-up play. You know, he never really got the connection on the shot, Palmer, but, you know, very, very evident that relationship is there.
Albion playing out again. Dean Garner to Yokushlu. And the Turkish international complaining this time that O'Hare was in there too strongly on him. The loose ball's gone out of play for a West Brom throw, which Darnell Furlong will take. Furlong motioning that he's going to throw it back to Peters. Does in fact play it forward towards Yokushlu. Couldn't supply him with an accurate return ball. Now Coventry themselves have a throw from an almost identical position. Binks back for Latibaudiere. Eccles, nice ball on the turn, that lofted forward. Furlong backpedaling, can head it away. Tom Fellows couldn't pick up possession. Casey Palmer forced to retreat and just plays the way that he's facing. Goes back for Binks. Latibaudiere forward into the midfield and gets it straight back again from Torp. And scored a stunning goal on his Coventry debut against Sheffield Wednesday recently. And Mowat's won it back from him. And now Laddie Baudière picking it up in the midfield. Just a little bit of a scrappy passage of play that, but Coventry able to bring it forward again.
Yeah, he's got to be better for me. I think in that position, good technical player. I think Jen Wallace goes in, gets a strong challenge, keep possession, turn back out, keep possession, recycle it again.
And Dean Garner's foul. Josh Eccles, the man that caught him, and it's a free kick which will be taken by West Brom about 10-15 yards inside Coventry territory, although Yokushlu spots it back significantly deeper than that. And just bringing the ball forward at walking pace, nudges it past Ellis Sims, who scored that hat-trick against Maidstone here on Talksport 2 on Monday in the FA Cup. Coventry booking another trip to the Black Country. They'll go to Wolves Saturday lunchtime, that will be a couple of Saturdays' time, the 16th. And we'll bring you all 4 FA Cup quarter-finals live on the Talksport network. Alex Moen, back for Eric Peters. Okay Yokushlu, Furlong to his right. Tom Fellows doesn't know whether to make further ground down the right-hand touchline and then just check back. I think Furlong was hoping that he would make the run so he could try and bend one round the side of De Silva, but it wasn't forthcoming.
Well, I think that, I think Tom Fellows, he wants the ball all the time, but in that moment, try and stay away. Darren Furlong, he's comfortable, he's direct, he's mobile, he can get down around outside of his opposition player there.
Keeper at the back for the Baggies, who lead 1-0. Now Furlong, nice touch from Furlong. Nice play through the middle towards Dean Garner, and then he immediately gets it back again. Keeper down to Furlong on halfway. Now he will try and play that ball around the side of Binks for the run of Fellows. Albion winning the seconds in the midfield with Dean Garner, who's kept it in on the near touchline, with De Silva making life difficult for the former West Ham man. Yokushlu able to turn, and he'll ping a ball out towards the left-hand side for Johnston. Van Ewijk just got caught underneath the flight of it. Johnston couldn't make the most of a half chance, and Callum O'Hare came back in to win it back. And Coventry will now play out from the back. They've had more possession in the last 5 or 6 minutes, but still not able to really do too much with it, the Sky Blues, who are trailing 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's down to how good West Brom are without the ball. I think I don't mind it. The one goal down, they have to take necessary risks to get in the game. Top and Eccles is seeing a lot of the ball, but they want to get it to the likes of O'Hare and Palmer. And at the minute, look at the bodies, Jim. There's no pass into them. West Brom are organised.
Thomas plays it forward. It's headed away before he got to Sims. And Furlong will get it forward through the midfield. A stumbling Dean Garner couldn't get a touch on it, but that actually worked well for the Albion because it found its way through to Jed Wallace anyway. The man playing up front just has the time to exchange a low 5 with Michael Heffler, the assistant manager, on his way past. It was good industry that from Wallace. And play will continue as the ball is laid out towards Townsend, former Scunthorpe player at left back for West Brom. Lead 1-0. They've got such a good defensive record as well. They would back themselves to be able to hold on to the lead. Nobody in the division has kept more clean sheets this season, 15 of them in total. And a stack of those have come here. In fact, they've got a really good record when they've gone 1-0 up in games. They've won 16 out of 19, so might argue that they've done a lot of the hard work already with Johnston's goal. But Coventry trying to get themselves back into it here with Sims finding O'Hare.
Says a lot, Jim, doesn't it? Says a lot about a team when it's 1-0 victories. I think the character, I think he just prepares them and sets them up tactically. They're aware of every scenario that the game can throw at them and they're prepared for it.
De Silva's got it again, the left wing back. Former Bristol City man back to Torp. And then Laddie Baudière, the sign from Swansea, playing it to his right-hand side. Thomas, fall for Van Ewijk. Palmer coming and wanted the ball in defeat in the midfield, but he's actually gone towards Eccles instead. Torp struggling to find any space, really. He's being well marshalled by Yokushlu, and Dean Garner's done a good job on him off the ball. So Coventry struggling to really be able to construct attacks from deep. Thomas now will play it forward. Sims looking to flick it on, and he's managed it as well. Eccles coming forward, goes to ground, was fouled, and the referee's going to give a free kick, which O'Hare thought about taking quickly, but then sensibly decides that a better option might just be to spot this down, because it's in a great position. 6 yards outside the box, right of centre. I think Eric Peters was the defender involved. He's gone in the book for the challenge on Eccles. He just got wrong side of him. Townsend is it, I beg your pardon.
Yes.
And Townsend is the first player to have a yellow card.
Well, I'm looking at it, I thought it was accidental, but, I think he knew exactly what he was doing there, Townsend. But you look at the body language, hands up, look at the linesman. I thought it was excellent play from Eccles. He's got in behind. I think he went to floor a little bit easy. I think he's got to be stronger as well. But the little clip of the heels it was.
That's his first yellow card of the season, which, when you bear in mind he's hardly missed the game and plays at the back, that's a good record. Just his second in 63 games for Connor Townsend. So if you had him to be the first player booked tonight, well done, because that's a big payout. So Albion with everybody back inside their penalty area. 21 gone, it's 1-0 to West Brom, and an opportunity here for Eccles, who stands over it, but De Silva might be the man to take charge. Could be a left-footed clip in from De Silva for the aerial targets, or potentially a right-footed shot from Torp. Which of the two is it going to be? Torp comes up. It is the Dane, strikes it into the wall, and now to play for a corner.
Yeah, Wall done its job. I think you're looking at that with the qualities. I think he's got to look with that, the area attributes that he's got in there, the aggressive players. You just got to hang up and ask that question.
O'Hare showing for the short one. And the ball is played into his feet. Torp then back. It's Eccles from the edge of the area, and it's only just wide. Well, if he got fingers on that, Palmer, it's an outstanding save. The referee's given a goal kick. Thought it might just have taken a flick off the goalkeeper on the way through. But Eccles, from a really well-worked set piece, only flicking it about 6 inches wide.
Yeah, you're looking at that there. I think they worked it very well. Eccles, he had a lot of time. I just don't think the connection was great. I thought he did. I thought he got a hand to it there, but looking at it now, no, nowhere near it, Jim. Nowhere near it.
Well, he's only got a couple of goals in more than 100 games for Coventry. That really wasn't too far away from Eccles. The closest that the Sky Blues have come to an equalising goal. We're midway through the first half. It's West Brom 1, Coventry 0, here on Talksport 2. Joel Latibaudiere finding Thomas. Ball played out to the right-hand side for the Dutch fullback Van Ewijk. Coventry fans finding their voice away to our right-hand side, the Smethwick end of the ground. Furlong whacking it in that direction, and knocked away by Latibaudiere straight out for a throw that will be taken on the West Bromwich Albion right. They lead 1-0. As
soon as it goes back to that defensive unit of Coventry, the way that West Brom press, everyone's on the front foot. I'm talking 6-7 players really kind of forcing the issue, and like you say, one got the throw in from an error from Coventry there, but so organised without the ball.
Furlong waiting, ball in hand. Kushlu's done him no favours. It's the second time that a throw on this touchline has seemed a relatively rudimentary exercise to be able to play it back to Furlong, and they've not been able to do it. Have won a free kick this time. Furlong has taken that. Palmer, who's standing almost on top of the ball when it was taken, just indicating to referee Lewis Smith that the ball was moving. And so they'll take it again. Kipre slowing it down to walking pace, trying to draw Ellis Sims in. Kushlu with another loose ball. He's not got the passing radar right so far tonight. He'll get it again, and we'll be able to take it on the half turn, and that was an immaculate ball at time towards Kipre. Furlong has done really well, squeezed it away from Palmer into space. Latibaudiere couldn't get there ahead of Wallace. Albion cycled it out towards the left-hand time for Townsend, and now coming off the flank is the goal scorer Johnston. Johnston towards the edge of the penalty area, getting the return ball. Heavy touch, just saw it knocked away from the edge of the penalty area by Latibaudiere, and here's Sims trying to bulldoze his way forward, stopped unceremoniously. Some excellent defending from Kipre.
He's done very well, hasn't he, Kipre there? I thought Ellis Sims just got away from, just lost control of the ball. Kipre just got his body in there between ball and man, and just used that physicality that he has.
Another chance for West Brom to bring the ball forward. And they've got it on halfway. They're leading by a goal to nil. You'd have to say over the 25 minutes, they probably just about deserved to be ahead. Certainly a goal of real quality. But Coventry's response has been pretty tidy. They've been able to get themselves into more advanced positions more recently, and had that Eccles effort from a set piece that only just beat the post. Four from Kipre here for Yokushlu. Sims is actually cutting quite an isolated figure for Coventry here because the midfielders in behind them are some way away. So when he's trying to lead the press, he's got nobody coming forward in support of him to help him do it. So once they've got it round him, it's then easy for West Brom to play out.
Spot on, Jim. But that information comes from behind. You know, you're looking at your centre backs. They've got to push the likes of Torp and Eccles on. That information goes forward, and then O'Hare and Palmer can then support Sims in that press. But you know, at the minute they're sitting in, allowing West Brom to have it, and then they're using that energy and pace to break on West Brom.
And now West Brom win their first corner. Townsend trying to take on Van Eyck on the outside this time, and the Dutchman just toe poked it away, and he goes out of play for a corner which will be taken in front of the Coventry fans who are in the left half of the Smethwick end stand away to our right. Albion getting Furlong forward. Kipre stands with a black-gloved left hand high in the air, and he's continued his way forward and now stands inside the 6-yard box, just given a little shove by Binks as he took up station in the near post area. In comes the corner. Good delivery. He's travelled a long way, ultimately past everybody, and out of play for a goal kick down by the other corner flag. But there was so much whip on it, bounced on the edge of the 6-yard box, nobody could get a touch.
That's an excellent delivery. You know, I think Johnson's put it right into the money there, and it's bounced. It's bounced and basically centre the goal on the 6-yard line at the back, towards the back post area. Someone's got to be running around the back. Everyone's went towards the near post. Understand that's where all the bodies is, trying to put pressure on Ben Wilson there. But someone just has to gamble. Yokushlu
getting it under control and finding Townsend. Townsend stopping, checking, finding Mowat. Mowat in a central area, only 20 yards outside the penalty area. Palmer's won it back easily from Furlong, and now will be able to make his way forward. And Sims has timed his run well, I think. He's goal side of Kipre, left-hand side of the area. As he checked back, Kipre was able to get a touch to steer it over the line for a corner.
Yes, it's good defending there. I'm looking at Ellis Sims there. It's a great ball from Palmer down the left-hand side. He's got in behind Kipre. Can he take his touch and run across the path of Kipre's run there, and then he can get an opportunity at goal?
And we welcome listeners on Talksport. The news here at the Hawthorns that it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Coventry 0. Now, those are the thoughts of the former Scotland international striker Chris Iwelumo. It was Johnston that got the goal, and some goal it was too, on 8 minutes. Coventry looking for a response. This their second corner of the night. Right-footed in, swinging towards the near post. It's headed away by Furlong. The first corner they'd had brought Coventry's best opportunity with Eccles, who's hardly scored a goal in his Coventry career. A sweeping one only just wide of Alex Palmer's right-hand post. That Coventry's best moment of the game, but the Johnston goal had seen him pick up possession, nutmeg Van Eyck, and slip it from his left foot onto his right, and then spear it across the face of Wilson into the bottom right-hand corner. Chris, it was some goal.
Yeah, it was an excellent finish. You know, I think he's received it wide, been very expansive, isn't he? But great little bit of trickery. As soon as he comes into the box, I think the defender's got to be better. Go and force the issue, but he's just turned the ball, moved the ball onto his right, opened up the goal, and then the connection and power and the accuracy in his shot was excellent.
Do you think over the whole piece West Brom deserve the lead?
Yeah, they deserve the lead, but Coventry have definitely got more of a foothold in the game. You know, I think they're allowing West Brom to have it sitting, but then when they make that error and they bombing players forward, they are capitalising as they are at the minute.
Laddie Bodier plays it forward towards O'Hare. He will find Eccles. Out on the Coventry right-hand side, a chance now for the Dutch full-back Van Eyck. Ellis Sims has scored a hat-trick on Monday, playing it back towards the edge of the penalty area, where Palmer will try his luck. But he's driven it just wide of the diving Palmer. If you've got the Talksport app, you can seamlessly swipe between Talksport and Talksport 2 to keep abreast of all the salient points of the action as it unfolds over the course of the night. Chris and I continuing with the commentary over on 2. It is West Brom 1, Coventry 0. And that wasn't a bad effort from Casey Palmer. Again, the goalkeeper was scrambling.
Yeah, with the quality that he has, he'll be disappointed in himself there. You know, it's broke nicely for him there. Got a lot of time. He knows exactly where the goal is. It doesn't move, Jim. He's just trying to find that bottom right-hand corner, and the connection wasn't right. You know, he's got to work the keeper there.
Do you think Cole Brown will be frustrated that his side haven't created more chances than they have, because they haven't really asked too many questions in the last 10-15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think they've used the ball well, but again, it's broken down when they've got into that attacking area. But when you're 1-0 up, sometimes it's that fear of kind of allowing the opposition to kind of get into the game, and I think they're doing that. They've got to be ruthless. When they're on top, they've got to capitalise. But yeah, I think obviously with Jed Wallace here, he drops very deep. They don't really have an out-and-out striker that's stretching the pitch and keeping it big. So that's why we're seeing all these players just keeping possession, little kind of sideway passes, not really going forward. But I'm saying to Jed, stay away. If it's not Jed, if he comes deep, then it's got to be Diangana or Fellows and Johnson coming off the wing to create that depth in the team.
Well, Kipre has it at the back, and we've said that many times. Furlong to Diangana, back for Darnell Furlong again. Diangana supplying the width this time, and now supplying Wallace in his yellow boots, the Albion captain. Back towards Tom Fellows, coming in off the flank. 15 yards outside the penalty area, it's with Mowat. Mowat to his left-hand side, to Townsend, now to Johnston. Johnston taking on Van Awijk, going round the outside of him, and the Dutchman stuck to his task and flicks it out of play for a corner, which will be taken again in front of those Sky Blues fans on the left-hand side, away to our right. 31 gone, West Brom 1, Coventry 0. In terms of the stats of the game so far, possession mid-50s to mid-40s in West Brom's favour, 6 attempts to 1 in Coventry's. But the only shot on target we've seen all night was the goal. Now West Brom looking to double their advantage here. It's a congested penalty area the corner is fired into. Coventry dealing with this one more effectively than the last one. Ellis Sims could get it away. And Mowat picking up the second ball in midfield, lays it back for Eric Peters. Now from him to his right-hand side for Furlong. Furlong over the halfway line for Diangana. Palmer watching the ball played past him towards Tom Fellows, the youngster from the other side of town in Solihull, who's made a real impact in recent times. All 4 career goals he scored have come since the turn of the year. Kipre down towards Furlong. Fellows showing for the ball on halfway. First time ball in from him, and it was a horrible one for Diangana, because Fellows pinged it in and Diangana had players from both sides converging on him. And I think it was Binks that did the more serious damage. But Diangana's back on his feet. He's going to be able to continue free kick the West Brom on halfway.
Yeah, I think Tom Fellows he's a good technical player. I think he's got to take the touch rather than one touch inside to Diangana there. It was a dangerous one. Binks comes in high as well, but Diangana, I've got to say, he's in the mood for it tonight, wanting the ball every opportunity, and like you say, he knew he was going to take a sore one there, but he gets there first.
Now we've got more Championship action coming for you tomorrow. Big Yorkshire derby, Huddersfield against Leeds, exclusive to Talksport tomorrow, with Sam Matterface alongside Dean Ashton. It's a 12:30 kickoff, and all of the action from the Yorkshire derby tomorrow over on Talksport. Build up for that starts at 11, then Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Ray Parler and Scott Minto from 2:30. All the goals as they go in from the Premier League and the EFL, including Forest against Liverpool, Everton West Ham and Spurs Palace, which is also our live Premier League commentary here on Talksport 2 tomorrow afternoon, with Perry Groves alongside Ian Danta as always. A 3 o'clock kickoff, that London derby tomorrow. So we've got it all covered for you over the course of the weekend here on the Talksport network. Tonight, here in the Black Country, West Midlands derby, West Brom leading Coventry by a goal to 0. But the XG would tell you actually that Coventry should be on top. Ball is played forward towards Sims, who's just come back from an offside position that time. And Peter's got his man, and it's a free kick which will be taken by the Albion almost on halfway. Here's Chris Iwelumo.
Yeah, he's got no excuse, Ellis Sims there, and I think when West Brom are in possession, he's got to be switched on and just be looking across that defensive line, because that's the out. As soon as it goes to any in the defensive unit of Coventry, can they put it down the sides with a little bit of quality? But I just I'm looking at West Brom here, a little bit scrappy. Look at Jed Wallace now coming. There's no one going right up through the middle. It makes it difficult for that unit, defensive unit of 3, the centre backs there for Coventry. But still, they need someone for West Brom to be stretching the pitch more like that. Jed Wallace arcing his run, trying to get in behind.
Yeah, it's not his natural position by any stretch of the imagination. West Brom try to work it. De Silva with a firm challenge on Fellows, and then a hand of apology in fairness to him. It was a poor challenge. Referee allowing play to continue with Albion in possession with Johnston. Bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area. Back for Okay Kushlu. Down towards the Albion right-hand side for Fellows. They've changed the line of attack very effectively here. Fellows taking on De Silva. Good ball in towards the near post. And volleyed in for two. Grady Diangana, the man coming on to the end of it, taking the applause and acclaim from Mikey Johnston. It's a brilliant ball in from Fellows. And Diangana there 6 yards out, smashing it into the bottom right-hand corner. 2-0.
It's a fantastic goal, isn't it? It's an excellent goal. As soon as Tom Fellows gets the ball, Jim, you know there's quality coming in the box. You know, he's getting at his man, he's direct. All he needed was a yard. He's taking it to the touchline there. It's an excellent ball in. And Diangana, I said he's in the mood for it tonight. He's been aggressive. He's getting in the front foot. He's getting in the box. He's getting an end of it. What a strike that is as well. Taking it on the full into the back of the net. The connection was excellent. I'm looking at it now. It's a fantastic finish. Fantastic finish.
Well, he scored the winner in this fixture last season. He also scored at Coventry earlier this season. And he's proved to be the Sky Blues' nemesis again. Grady Diangana is 6th of the campaign. And Albion 2 up against Coventry. We touched on it before the game started, that albeit that they played pretty well for swathes of this game, their record away from home against the better opposition in this division this season has been really poor. Drew at Hull, drew at Leeds. They've lost every other game that they've played against the top 8 opposition away, so just 2 points out of a possible 21 now away against top 8 opposition if they can't get themselves back into this. And that's not a great statistic coming into this part of the season. It's going to leave them, if things stay this way, 4 points adrift of Hull, having played an extra game. Hull go to Preston tomorrow, so that's one of the saving graces, I suppose, for Cov, that two of the sides battling for the playoffs with them play each other tomorrow. The other game involved is Norwich at home to Sunderland tomorrow. West Brom set fair, move up to 59 if it stays this way, and they will have a 7-point gap above Norwich and Preston, and an 8-point gap above Coventry if it stays this way. They lead 2-0 with 7.5 minutes to go to half-time.
Well, you look at Mark Robbins and you look at the stats that you've just thrown out there, Jim. It is small margins. Coventry, yeah, they've conceded an early goal, but they've reacted well. They've got back into the match. They've created more chances. It's small margins. They have to be ruthless. They have to be clinical in that attacking third. And then they're in a game, but now they find themselves 2-0 down. So what do? They have to react well. They've done it against Preston. You know, the second half, they 3-0 down at half-time, mate. He changed the formation. They didn't concede. They never went out and won the second half, but it was a better performance. It's difficult. West Brom are an organised side. They're prepared for every scenario. And they've, like you say, against the run of play, they've scored the second goal.
Well, you talk about the clinical nature. West Brom have had 2 shots and they've scored with them both.
Yeah.
Coventry have had 6 and haven't had one on target yet. Townsend just losing out of Van Ewijk. He stayed down on halfway. And Van Ewijk can make his way forward on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Stands it up. Palmer coming to meet it. Good defensive header from Mowat. O'Hare mishit it as he tried to volley it back towards goal, and it's cleared. Right-footed in from Eccles. That one headed away by Furlong. And he comes out towards Binks. He will find De Silva. And Coventry can come again the next phase of play. Palmer just come back from an offside position. And the move breaks down. The flag is up from the assistant referee over on the far touchline, Alan Kreisel. And it's a free kick to West Brom on the edge of their own box. They lead 2-0 with 6 to go to half-time.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one, Jim, on the monitor there. I thought it was tight. I'm looking at it. The linesman, he's unsighted. His view is blocked. You know, he's onside, Jim. That's a shocking decision, because I think Casey Palmer makes De Silva's mind up by making the run. But we're looking at that. He's a yard onside. How can the linesman give that when you're looking across it? Because he's seen a West Brom defensive shot anyway.
Yeah, Mark Robbins won't be happy when he sees that back. He will already have been told by his analysts, but listen, assistant referee's a human, but that wasn't his best call. The ball back inside the penalty area. And the Albion goalkeeper Palmer has got it away. Forward towards halfway. Wallace with a very clever little flick, and now it's played first time by Johnston. Out to Townsend, who's made an overlapping run from left back. Johnston's got it now. Wallace making his way in the penalty area. Fellows is actually pretty much unmarked at the far post. It's half cleared. Mowat urged to shoot, won't. Palmer has come back and knocked it off his toes. West Bromwich Albion pick it up in a slightly deeper position with Yokushlu. And he'll retreat actually before playing it in towards Diangana, whose first touch forced a hurried second as he flicked it up onto his left knee, but he was able to maintain possession, and Albion will be able to bring it forward again. It's coming through the centre circle down towards Furlong to Kipre inside his own half. Carlos Corbrand trying to get a message across to somebody on the bench, I think. The play will continue while that's going on, with Mowat just coming down towards the Albion right. And now work back through the midfield for Yokushlu, making everything tick in there. Not too far short of 100 games for West Brom now. Yokushlu back for Peters. Peters unhurried, just going back inside his own half for Kipre. And it is a keep ball situation for West Brom, really, because they've got the lead. They've now got a little bit of insurance to go with it, and all they've got to do is keep stringing the passes together. They're very adept at that. Townsend goes out to the left. Johnson's first time ball inside the penalty area. Binks can emphatically volley it away with his left foot. Back out to Yokushlu. Yokushlu back inside the centre circle. Mowat to Kipre. Coventry doing plenty of chasing, plenty of harrowing, but not a lot else at the moment, Chris.
Well, West Brom are a very comfortable side in possession, and I think it's a dangerous game for Coventry to play, because they're keeping possession, West Brom, trying to force Coventry out, and then all of a sudden they go. So I think Coventry, you're 2-0 down. You have to take those necessary risks and be on the front foot, but you've got to be very, very kind of with one eye on that defensive side of the game as well.
Palmer able to turn after Torp had done well to win it back. O'Hare laying it off. Van Ewijk with a neat little turn and pirouette that actually bought himself a couple of yards of space. Here is Torp. And Coventry playing a little bit of keep ball of their own, with brisk passes at very close range, 5-6 yard balls, but just going sideways, not able to incisively move forward. West Brom with the two banks of four behind the ball and the two false nines leading the line, just able to deal with it really comfortably. Now they'll try and get it between the lines. O'Hare for Sims, and way over the bar.
It was excellent play though, Jim, from Coventry. That little touch from O'Hare. I think Ellis Sims takes it on the chest and turns. I think he's got to take the ball in. He took the volley on. It has to be a wonder strike to beat Palmer for there, but he's got to take the touch forward and drive at the West Brom defence there, and he's got an option of Palmer or Callum O'Hare at either side of him there.
Well, Coventry have scored in their last 10 away games, the best run that they've had at this level since 2008. They tend to find a way through. In fact, their goal-scoring return has been really tidy, for all the fact that we've talked about the injuries that they've had as well. Most goals at this stage of a second division season since the days of Jimmy Hill back in the mid-1960s. Just trying to force an error out of the Albion back line here. So the back line, it was Wallace way back on the edge of his own penalty area. He looks as though he's put a shift in. Chris talking earlier about the fact that he's having injections before games to be able to play through the pain barrier. Nothing Carlos Corbrand would want more than to be able to take his captain off with the game already won and give him a longer rest ahead of battles coming up. West Brom go to Queen's Park Rangers next, and then they have Huddersfield away after that. Series of, with no disrespect at all, winnable games by the look of the table for the Albion over the next few weeks. And they're going to be able to get a lot of the work done. Remember, I reckon 6 wins in the last 12 games is pretty much going to guarantee them a playoff place. That would take them up to 72 points. I think that's going to be enough this year for a top 6 finish. Furlong back for Kipre. And he'll go back to his goalkeeper. He'll play out towards Eric Peters, and the time's ticking down towards half-time. Big man, just a minute to go to the break.
Yeah, looking comfortable at the minute. Really kind of moving Coventry all about, keeping possession. You know, I think they don't need to go and score the third goal. You know, I think trying to see it out, get into half-time, I think you're spot on. I'd be very surprised if Jed Wallace comes out for the second half and you've got Vyman and Swift there that can come out and do the same job that he's done. I think Wyman more so in that position, one of my old teammates at Watford. But yeah, they're comfortable. Now, I'm looking at Coventry. What can they do? Yeah, they have to be better in possession. Little moments they have to. I think that's decision making in that attacking third. Ellis Sims taking shot on.
Now, Dean Garnish has been caught in possession, but was fouled in the process. I didn't realise Andy Wyman was that old. I mean, I know he's been around.
He was only a young boy, Jim. Come on, I'm not that old. Yeah, when I was at Watford there, towards the end of my career, he came on loan from Aston Villa. Fantastic character as well as player.
We're into a couple of minutes of added time at the end of the first half. And an opportunity here for West Brom to bring it forward as they look for goal number 3. Mowat. Down towards Fellows. Fellows level the edge of the penalty area. Onto his left foot. Didn't get the chance to deliver such a perceptive ball as he did for the Diangana goal. But Albion having a game with Townsend, and that's just rolled straight out of play. You're listening to West Brom against Coventry in the EFL Championship on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. You can order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points 18+. Terms and conditions apply. Carlos Corberán will be thrilled. Mark Robins knows. For the second Friday in a row, he's got work to do. Palmer. Trying to turn and gets it away. Goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Coventry left-hand side by De Silva. Back from him to Binks. Binks bringing the ball forward. Eccles moves out of his way so that he's got more opportunity to bring it forward into space. Now it goes from Eccles into the feet of Palmer, and he got it straight back again. Palmer able to play a better ball forward the second time of asking. Finding O'Hare, who's had chronic injury problems at the beginning of this season, but now back towards his best. O'Hare again. Eccles turning back towards halfway. Binks. Ladibodiere. Really good work from West Brom here without the ball as the clock is ticking down towards half-time, and Diangana epitomising that there, forcing Ladibodiere to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. There's hardly any time for Coventry to get it forward and potentially get another side of goal before half-time. Binks here towards Palmer. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Palmer down towards De Silva. De Silva again towards Palmer on halfway. Chipped over the top, headed away by Kipre, and that will see West Brom ahead with a 2-0 lead at half-time. Really good value for it. Johnston on 8 minutes, Diangana on 36. There's been a clinical, incisive edge to West Brom that there hasn't been to Coventry. That has made the difference, Hugh. Half-time in the West Midlands derby. West Brom 2, Coventry 0.
Well, it's exactly the kind of performance that makes you think West Brom will certainly be inside the top 6 at the end of the season. They have looked the more calm, controlled and threatening at times, certainly more lethal in front of goal with their finishing. Coventry maybe a little bit wasteful, haven't had that clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity, but by their standards, their performance, and maybe it's one of these things away from home, they just aren't the same side. Chris Iwelumo, what's your reaction to that first 45 minutes?
Well, I expected goals. I think Mikey Johnson, what a finish that is. I think West Brom are in control of the game. I think without the ball, even more impressed with West Brom. I think Coventry had opportunities. They have to small margins. They have to work the goalkeeper. They have to the decision making in the attacking third. There's still game on. They come out and get the first goal in the second half, and that's what Matt Robbins will be saying to his players. But West Brom, with and without the ball, were excellent in that first 45. And like you say, the 2 goals. Tom Fellows' cross. He's just a class act. You know the delivery's coming. You know that it's going to be right on the money. You have to gamble to get on the end of it, and Diangana done exactly that.
Yeah, if you look at the first half statistics, 60% possession for West Brom. They had 2 shots on target, scored 2 goals. Coventry 8 shots, none on target. Maybe that's the difference in that first half. You mentioned the second goal. Let's start there, just because you mentioned it. Grady Diangana in the 36th minute. It was an instinctive finish in the end, but there wasn't much else he could do. Such was the, if you like, quality in that attack.
No, it was. I think Tom Fellows, he's up against 2. He just takes it to the touchline, just needs that yard, and the cross is right on the money. And like I say, when you've got players in wide areas that have that quality, and West Brom have it in abundance, where you're looking at Furlong, you're looking at Connor Townsend and Mikey Johnson, you break your neck to get on the end of it. And like you say, the touch, all they had to do, all the pace and power was on the cross. All they had to do was direct it into that bottom right-hand corner in off the post there, and it was an excellent finish.
And at that point, West Brom really fully in control. The scoreline makes it comfortable, but they had the perfect start. And let's be honest, it was a fantastic goal from Mikey Johnston. You highlighted him before the game as well, Chris, and he paid dividends. But defensively, Coventry could have done a lot better.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's kind of hugging that sideline, isn't he? As soon as he got it, a little one through the legs of Iwelumo there. But as soon as he comes into the box, that's when I'm wanting more from Coventry. They're backing off. He's in the box. He showed you how he can punish you. Moved the ball onto his right, opened up the goal, and then the accuracy of his shot, I've got to say, Wilson had no chance as well. Clean connection and right into the back end of the goal, the side netting as well. Excellent finish.
What do you think the message is then from Mark Robins at the break as his players go in to hear from him now? Because he's not going to be overly happy.
Well, he'll be happy with the reaction from conceding the early goal, albeit that there was like defensive errors. I think they grew into the game. They were controlling it with the ball. They were creating more chances. But again, they switched off. One, they allow the cross coming in from Fellows, and then Diangana, you've got to follow your runners. You've got to be the first contact when that cross comes in. So there is negatives, but there's a lot of positives, and that's what he's got. That's what he's got to build on. That's what he's got to he's got to try and give the players something to go out and react. The likes of Callum O'Hare, Ellis Simpson, and Casey Palmer. They've got quality in those attacking thirds, but they're not seeing enough of the ball. And when they get the ball, it's the decision making. Too many times, Ellis Simpson to me is trying to do the worldly shot, the super goal. Just go and commit your defender, create the opportunity for the players around you, and that's what the understanding's there between Callum O'Hare and Casey Palmer. But Ellis Simpson's just got to go up to speed for me.
Do you think Mark Robins will make changes here, either tactically or personnel? Will he chase this game, do you think?
Well, he has to. It's about keeping the season alive. You might as well lose 4-0 if you go out and try and get something in the game. If they win this game or get something out of this game, then you take it into the next. You're talking about the business end. This is a big month, isn't it? So it's about consistently putting points on the board.
We will see if there's a reaction from Coventry in that second half. Hopefully they come out fighting, or will it be West Brom who, if you like, just process to victory this evening? Because so far, I think Coventry have been far too welcoming. The home side really in control. Goals, a brilliant goal from Mikey Johnston to open things up early on in the game. Grady Diangana's, if you like, instinctive finish made it 2-0 to West Bromwich Albion on the night, and as it stands, they are moving 7 points within the top 6, looking comfortable for a playoff spot come the end of the season. Coventry will be staying where they are, 4 points outside of it, but having played a game more than the teams around them, so they really need to get moving. Chris Iwelumo says they should, and I tend to agree with them. Will it happen? We'll find out next here on Talksport 2.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the EFL. EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Bring on the unbeatable strike partnership of McNuggets and Dip. Order McDelivery now on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points delivered too. 18 plus. Rewards account required. Participating restaurants. Subject to availability. Delivery fees and terms apply.
Whether it's a better seat, a bigger room, or a free cake with your coffee, we all love an unexpected upgrade, especially if you don't have to ask. With the Hyundai Tucson Hybrid Upgrade event, you get a complimentary upgrade to premium trim when you buy before the 31st of March. Plus, you get £1,750 towards your deposit and 6.9% APR representative. The Tucson Hybrid Upgrade event. It's the dawn of a new Hyundai. Trim upgrade available for SE Connect to Premium. Finance subject to status. Hyundai UK is a credit broker, not a lender. Terms apply.
At Morrison's, we've price matched hundreds of products to Aldi and Lidl, whichever's cheaper. Like semi-skimmed milk, carrots, onions, bananas, British steak mince, chopped tomatoes, British chicken breast fillets, tiger bread, pasta, and more.
Morrison's to shop at Morrison's.
For full terms and conditions and verification, visit my.morrisons.com/price-match-terms.
When it comes to goals, momentum matters. It's about making a start and moving forward, step by step, day by day. That's why at NatWest, we've partnered with Team GB, because like our nation's top athletes, we want to help you get off the blocks, keep pushing and get to where you want to be. So, whatever your goals, let's get going. Tomorrow begins today with NatWest, proud partner of Team GB. Search NatWest Team GB to get started.
This Saturday, the £15 million lotto jackpot must be won, or thousands of you will win a share of the prize. But who will it be? Maybe someone bowling, like Les, who is pretty sure his lane's wonky, or Ellie, who has never bowled it. Get in, Ellie! Today is your lucky day. Lotto, will you be next? Play on app. The National Lottery. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Come on, Ellie. Hold your nerve. You did it at the World Championships. You did it at the Paralympics. You can do it today. Yeah, this stack of dirty dishes is doing your head in, but you can hang on till Sunday. Just one more sleep.
Perform better on Sundays. Get half-price electricity, 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. with Peak Save from British Gas. Proud partners of Team GB and Paralympics GB. Ends 31st of March. T's and C's apply. Smart meter required.
The Premier League is bigger and better than ever. Don't miss any of this season's action on Talksport 2 with Now. This Saturday is Game Day, featuring Talksport 2's most full-on football-dedicated schedule ever. It's your non-stop, one-shop Premier League destination. Game Day on Talksport 2 with Now.
Absolutely magnificent.
Stream the Premier League contract-free with a Now Sports Day or month membership. 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL.
We're on to Starters Orders, and we're off. The Cheltenham Festival, coming soon to Talksport and Talksport 2.
Saddle up, giddy up, listen up for a trip to Cheltenham. 4 amazing blazing days horse racing on Talksport.
Alan Brazil versus the Cheltenham Festival, coming soon to Talksport and Talksport 2.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
I've got loads of cash.
And we'll make it through to Friday. Will this train stay on the track? It's Super Stud Sports Breakfast with the latest horsey crack. Betting tips and form guides, the Sexpert race reports.
And we'll just hang around and see if the big fella makes it.
Cause if you can't get to Cheltenham, listen on Talksport. The Cheltenham Festival Survivors Breakfast
starts Monday the 11th of March, live from Jackdaw's Castle on Talksport.
Always drink responsibly, begambleaware.org. Don't do what Alan does.
Feel the power and the glory. Game day.
And he scored, it's a brilliant goal.
Fired up and raring to go.
EFL Game Day Live
on Talksport 2.
At the start of West Brom's new era, to say the previous regime was unpopular is a chronic understatement. Shilan Patel's takeover lifts a cloud over the Hawthorns with the future looking bright. 4 down the line from him is Johnston, the Irish international on loan from Celtic's a great piece of skill. Cuts inside the area and still he goes! That is a goal of the highest quality from Mikey Johnston.
What a finish. You say took on Enwick there. He's just put it through his legs. Ben Wilson has no chance whatsoever. It's an excellent strike from Johnson.
Down towards the Albion right-hand side for Fellows. They've changed the line of attack very effectively here. Fellows taking on De Silva. Good ball in towards the near post. And volleyed in for 2. Grady Diangana, the man coming on to the end of it, taking the applause and acclaim from Mikey Johnston.
What a strike that is as well. Taking it on the full into the back of the net. The connection was excellent. I'm looking at it now, it's a fantastic finish.
And that will see West Brom ahead with a 2-0 lead at half-time.
From 2 shots on target. In fact, 2 shots in the first half, no less. Diangana and Johnson, the scorers, they put West Brom in full control as they look to cement a place in the Championship's top 6 at the break. Albion 2, Coventry 0. Coventry haven't scored twice at the Hawthorns since 2007, but they'll need to do so tonight if they want to get something out of the game and give their own chances of finishing in the top 6 a big, big boost. The second half on the way. We'll be back with Chris Iwelumo and Jim Proudfoot very, very shortly. Just the start of a big weekend once again in terms of the live football across the Talksport network. A live championship action coming this weekend. Live tomorrow, 12:30 on Talksport. Leeds look to continue their march towards the automatic promotion places back towards the Premier League as they travel to Huddersfield. The promotion race in the Championship is becoming more interesting by the second.
It's never over till it's over in the Championship.
it in through the wall, and the keeper. Leeds United have won it. About to do the double over Leicester. The title race is back on.
Huge clubs in the championships with aspirations to get back to the promised land of the Premier League.
Didi down the right side, Dewsbury Hall with the header, and he puts Leicester in front. Adam Armstrong, he's back in field, then back onto the right foot, it's 3-0. How can you not love the EFL when it throws up moments like this? Brilliant goal! Ipswich take the lead.
The race for promotion to the Premier League is really hotting up, and Ipswich maybe are back in the running. This really is a promotion race for the ages.
You shouldn't miss a moment when it comes to the Championship. The end of the season is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's all bubbling away very, very nicely. At 12:30 tomorrow, Huddersfield against Leeds. Points mean prizes for both of those two teams. Desperate to survive, Huddersfield, of course, towards the bottom of the table. Leeds United trying to haul in Leicester City after that massive victory last weekend. It's presented by Adrian Durham. Commentary comes from Sam Matterface and the former England striker Dean Ashton. Just to bring you up to date, by the way, with events this evening, 3 games in Super League to tell you about. St Helens leading Lee by 4 points to 0 at the break. Warrington 20, Castleford 4, and Wigan 18, Huddersfield 4 as well. Listen, we also have live Premier League action for you tomorrow on the network. That's tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Spurs welcoming Crystal Palace in a London derby. Spurs aiming for Champions League football. Can the new Palace boss Oliver Glasner potentially spoil that party? Well, here's how Ange Postecoglou is preparing for that game.
Yeah, look, it's always, I guess, a little bit challenging because a lot of your sort of scouting, you try and get some consistencies in play and look at teams in recent games, but whenever there's a new manager, obviously things adjust naturally. Usually there's a positive effect when a new manager comes in, and I think you saw that last week with the way Crystal Palace sort of went about things. Oliver's a very well-credentialed coach. He had, particularly at Frankfurt, he produced a really strong team and a real distinct style of play, and I think you'll probably see elements of that. But at the same time, I still think we're at the sort of stage of our development where real emphasis is still on us and playing our football and making sure that we bring the kind of energy and commitment to our game that we've shown at times this year, but also the effort that's got us to where we are right now. So that'll be our main focus.
Live here tomorrow on Talksport 2, exclusively in the Premier League, not on UK TV either. Spurs taking on Crystal Palace. Over on Talksport from 2:30, Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Ray Parler, Scott Minto as well. All the goals as they go in the Premier League and EFL. Nottingham Forest taking on Liverpool, Everton taking on West Ham as well. On Monday night on Talksport exclusively, we'll have Arsenal's game away at Sheffield United as well. And it's a busy midweek next week. On Tuesday night, there'll also be an Around the Ground show on Talksport. Sunderland taking on Leicester, Ipswich against Bristol City, Leeds versus Stoke, and that game, Leeds against Stoke, live on Talksport 2, 7:45. That's Tuesday, the 5th of March. So plenty coming. The game's coming thick and fast. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every single night of the week, we've got you covered. Listen, let's head back to the Hawthorns as the players are out on the pitch. We asked the question, Chris Iwelumo, is Mark Robins going to go for it? I think we're going to get an answer very shortly.
Yeah, I think he is. He is making a change. So, like you say, you have to go for it. I think it's. So I'm just looking at who is it that's coming on.
Haji Wright, he's top scorer.
Yeah, well there you go. I think they have been a little bit kind of loose in the attacking area. I think Haji Wright, he's going to bring goals. Ellis Sims not really been up to speed. So it's an interesting one. I think Callum O'Hara it's coming off, isn't it? So it's it is a big decision because he is a very, very good player, and I thought he was linking up well, albeit they weren't really seeing enough of the ball in that attacking third. So Haji Wright, another player, very, very direct. He's got that kind of that presence as well, that kind of the attributes that. Again, the aggression. He's mobile with the ball. He can move, but like you say, he brings goals to the team.
Big second half for Coventry. It's West Brom 2, Coventry 0, live on Talksport 2 in the company of the former Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo and Talksport's Jim Proudfoot.
So Haji Wright, the United States international that they signed from Antalyaspor in Turkey, is going to come on. Got a couple of goals against Millwall 3 weeks ago. He's not netted in his 4 games since, but he's on to play alongside Ellis Sims. The versatile player right can play off the left-hand side. He can play through the middle, and it's that ladder roll that he's got in the second half here. We are back underway. West Brom in their traditional dark blue and white striped shirts. It's a much thinner stripe these days than it used to be. And for Coventry, they're in their change kit of dark green and black halves. They're kicking from left to right, defending the Birmingham Road end of the ground, the A41 here, and attacking the Smethwick end. West Brom able to bring the ball forward in the midfield. I'll run through the two teams for you in a moment, but here's Darnell Furlong playing a 66th successive championship game for West Brom tonight, but that run could come to an end. It would do if he got a yellow card this evening. He'd get a 2-game ban. Play down towards Wallace. Wallace coming in off the left flank, just stops the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Right-footed effort from Johnston, not as good as his first shot of the game. That one sails over the bar, out of play, and it's a goal kick which will be taken away to our left-hand side by Coventry City goalkeeper Ben Wilson, alongside me for the second half. Chris Iwelumo.
Yeah, it wasn't it was a big ask, wasn't there, from Johnson, but you know, it just shows you the confidence of the player. The ball was moving all over the player, it was rising all the while. But Jed Wallace, for me, I'm surprised he just doesn't open it up there and put that ball in the box. Again, just that lack of that out-and-out striker for the West Brom probably plays a part in that.
I'm surprised he's come back out for the second half. I don't mean this as a criticism in any shape or form of Wallace, but he looks like he's run 21 miles in a marathon. He looks like I've run 21 miles in a marathon. It's just, he's not moving with any fluidity. So important for West Brom as a leader on the field, such a fine player. 2-0 clearly isn't an impregnable lead, but I think Carlos Corberán, I think we were both expecting that Jed might be taken off at half-time for keep him rested for the battles that lie ahead, because he's clearly struggling with injury at the moment.
No, well, of course he is. You know, I think, but it just shows you about the leadership qualities. You know, I think it's so important out there that he's talking with Mikey Johnson, Dean Garner, Tom Fellows all around him, but he does his job defensively as well. Intelligent player. But like you say, they've got players that can go on and kind of stretch the pitch a little bit for West Brom. And I know they don't need to go out and get a third goal, but you'd like to think that'll be the aim for the second half.
West Brom bring it forward again with Fellows doing well to work it inside. An opportunity here for Dean Garner. Couldn't get a shot in because Eccles had got his defensive angles right. Can set up though Johnston. Back for Dean Garner again. The two Albion goal scorers from the first half linking up neatly. Townsend will take over now. Back into the yellow boots of Wallace. Wallace to Okay Yokushlu. Peters down towards the left-hand side for Townsend. It's good football from West Brom until Dean Garner can't supply a relatively routine ball back for Townsend. Van Ewijk cut it out, and then the free kick is going to be given for a foul in the midfield, and a yellow card is shown Casey Palmer's way.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the yellow card came out there. You know, I think Yokushlu went for the ball. Casey Palmer went for a committed challenge, but it was I think it was a genuine attempt for the ball. I think Yokushlu definitely made the most of that, but Dean Garner has to be a little bit tidier. Poor touch there, great reaction to go and put Palmer under pressure.
Here's Wallace, he's done really well there, and a good injection of tempo will continue his run inside the penalty area. Townsend back to him, and now it's worked back to Townsend from the left-hand side for Johnston. Wallace makes a run and has to stop it immediately because he knew he'd gone offside, so the ball is worked back for Yokushlu. He goes back towards halfway for Peters. Mowat can take it on the half-turn and find Kipré. West Brom just being forced back by Coventry, but almost intentionally happy to go back so that they can now create space in the midfield and get between the lines as they work it forward. Dean Garner, good touchdown towards Johnston, and kept in by Bobby Thomas on the near touchline. The former Burnley centre half's done well. And Coventry can get going again. Torp sliding the ball forward for De Silva. De Silva controlling it, going back for Torp. Eccles. And very close in the first half. Back out towards Torp again. Coventry making their way forward slowly towards the edge of the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. They trailed 2-0 5 minutes into the second half here on Talksport 2. And now they go back inside their own half again. Binks playing it forward. Laddie Baudière can Stride forward from centre half. Has played in midfield recently. Bloody Bodier, he can play at full back as well, but he's playing almost as a sweeper, playing in the middle of the three centre halves today. Thomas forward now. First touch for Hadji Wright. Sims couldn't give him an instant second, and Albion win it back and will bring it forward with Wallace. Down from him towards the near touchline. Wallace coming forward over halfway, taking on Binks. It's a really good sliding challenge to get it back, and the referee did really well to keep up with play and watched it every step of the way. The ball goes back for the Coventry goalkeeper, Wilson.
Well, it's an excellent break there from West Brom, isn't it? And Jed Wallace, it's stuck behind him a little bit, but he manages to get the ball in control and in front of him, and he tries to run across the running path of Binks there. It's excellent defending, timely challenge as well, goes to ground, but he puts the ball back to Ben Wilson there. Controlled challenge there from Binks.
2-0 to West Brom. And Sims looking to lay it off towards Palmer. West Brom won it back, almost gave it away instantly. Torp, Yakushlu coming away with it. Torp has picked his pocket. Hadji Wright will take over. Right for his shot from the edge of the area, blocked immediately by Kipre, and the loose ball ricochets out towards the far touchline, but Fellows couldn't get it to stick, and De Silva brings it back in field. He's now found Palmer, and he finds the West Brom fans.
No, much better from Coventry there. If I'm Hadji Wright, I've got to say to Ellis Sims, you know what? Stop doing it first time. Take a touch. You've got good players around you. Control the ball, and then you can set, or if anything, come back yourself. He's trying all this first touch, and it's not working out for him so far this second half. But much better there. Casey Palmer, I don't know why he took the shot on. Drive in. Make it easier for you. Commit the defender, and then either take the shot on or release the ball either side.
Clearance from Alex Palmer, the Baggies goalkeeper. And West Brom win the seconds in the midfield with Johnston. Johnston to Diangana, work down the line. Fellows is there again towards the edge of the box, and it's squeezed across from him for the 2-0 goal. And he's won a free kick here, out towards the right-hand touchline, but level with the edge of the box, and it will be the cue for the Albion to flood the penalty area as they look for the third goal that makes it safe.
Yeah, just like you say, he's always an option, isn't he? Fellows, very comfortable, good footballer, willing runner as well. Kept possession there and allowed West Brom to get up, and like you say, Binks, who I've got to say, I think he's in the mood this second half. Timely challenges, he's all over him there. Definitely, the referee got it right.
So 2 in the Coventry wall. That's De Silva and Palmer, and they stand almost with the heels of their boots on the left-hand side of the penalty area. 2 standing over it for the Albion. Right-footed ball swung in towards the near post, and the flick header from Diangana some way over the bar. 2-0.
Another great ball in, wasn't it? Mowat, Diangana, always on the move. They got there first, probably too much of a connection on the ball, puts it over the bar. You just want to try and kind of glance that one there and ask Wilson a few questions.
Albion coming away with it after a poor piece of play in Coventry's own half. Townsend shaping to play the ball out towards the left, worked it back the other way instead. Furlong now out towards the Albion right-hand side. Looking for goal number 3. Right-footed ball stood up inside the penalty area. Header away from Thomas. Comes outside the box for Townsend. It's taking a deflection. Loops over the bar for a corner.
Nothing wrong with that at all. You know, if I'm going to be overly critical, I think Townsend should be coming on to that as it's coming down from the poor defensive clearance from Coventry there. He's got to come on, front foot, take that on the full there for me.
The player has only scored 4 goals in over 200 West Brom games. But that was a well-struck shot, and takes a looping deflection over the bar, out of play for a corner. West Brom's 3rd of the game. Mo with both hands above his head, indicating which of the set plays this is going to be. Furlong making a darting near post run. Good defensive header came from Sims. Back forward from Fellows. And now out towards Wallace. Wallace to Furlong. This is really good, neat football from close quarters from West Brom as they make their way towards the edge of the Coventry penalty area. Diangana now to his left-hand side for Townsend. Kipre still forward and operating as a left winger. Townsend plays him in. Cedric Kipre resisting the temptation to try and fire the ball inside the penalty area, just working it back for Johnston. It's good, steady possession from West Brom, who've improved immeasurably, this set of players in possession over the last weeks and months working under Carlos Corberán. Now the move breaks down. Commentators curse as it's worked forward for Wallace, who's just offside. It's a free kick which will be taken by the Sky Blues. We played the opening 10 minutes of the second half, and not an awful lot has changed, really, from a Sky Blues perspective, Chris.
No, it hasn't. I've got to say, I don't think they're seeing enough of the ball in that attacking area for Hadji Wright. If anything, he's doing more defensive duties than what he would like there. I've got to say the linesman redeemed himself there, because Jed Wallace, I thought it was another tight one there, but he just went a little bit too early for that little Diangana ball in behind.
Now, West Brom have already had more attempts in this second half than they did in the entirety of the first. Remember, only 2 before half-time. They scored with them both. They lead by 2-0. You're listening to West Brom against Coventry in the EFL Championship on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. You can order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points, 18+. Terms and conditions apply. Here is Hadji Wright on the edge of the penalty area. Top! Left-footed snapshot from him. And well beaten down by goalkeeper Palmer. As Wright turned, the ball just ricocheted away to his right-hand side, but Torp coming onto it. Player who's capable of the spectacular. And it's a smart save.
Well, I'm looking at that, Jim. You know, he's already got in behind the defensive unit of West Brom there. He takes the shot on. I think he can actually take it towards goal and then just pick his spot. But like you say, he's worked the keeper, albeit I think he should have done better.
Just the 1 goal so far for him in Coventry colours, but he arrived on these shores with nearly 30 at a rate of about 1 every 4 games from midfield in his career. Certainly played really well over a couple of seasons in Norway for Sarpsborg, club from the southwest of that country. Okay, Kushlu. Now played forward through the midfield, out towards Diangana. Diangana out on the right-hand side. He's got Fellows, and Wallace is busting a gut to get up forward for him. The ball is played inside the penalty area, just behind the on-rushing Albion midfielder, who has his hands up claiming that it should be a penalty, that he was pulled down. The referee says no, and play will continue with Eccles able to come forward unchallenged, some 60, 70 yards now. To his right-hand side, Van Ewijn. It was a poor ball to find the young fullback. Back it comes again from Van Ewijk. Eccles, Palmer, back for Eccles again. Sims waiting inside the penalty area. Right, tall, leaner, just outside the penalty box, waiting for a delivery. Okay, Kushlu's got his hands and eyes on him. And Palmer will pick it up again. But Coventry have strung 10 passes together there, Chris. They've gone backwards and allow West Brom to regain their defensive shape.
No, and I don't understand it. You know, you've got Hadji Wright, you've got Ellis Sims in there. You've got 3 opportunities to put good, decent balls into the area. And they've turned down every single one of them.
Now the Albion will be able to bring it forward again. And the ball goes out towards the far touchline for Diangana. Just took a little ricochet on its way through. Interesting that Johnson's actually playing a little bit more narrow on the left-hand side for the Albion in this second half. He's been happier to tuck in and just create a few more problems in a central area in support of the 2 up top with him. The ball played for there by Coventry, but not with any degree of accuracy at all, and it goes out of play for a throw which will be taken by West Brom down by their corner flag. And we've got within 90 seconds of the hour mark, Chris. Still West Brom 2, Coventry 0. They're looking comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable. You know, and I think it's players taking responsibility. You've already alluded to the Johnson there. So you're 2-0 up. Yeah, Coventry they're going to have their moments, but you know, him sitting in here, he has the pace to go and affect it when they're in good possession of the ball, but he has a defensive responsibility to the team as well. And I think Carlos Corberán, that's something these players are getting better and better under his stewardship.
Eccles for Coventry. Down to his right-hand side for Thomas. Thomas playing it forward. Sims hasn't quite been able to get into the game as he'd like tonight. Hasn't been his best night. Just trying to help it round the corner there for the run of Van Ewijk, but just a little chance of being able to find him, and it goes out of play for a throw that is going to be taken on the West Brom left again.
Well, on that one there, I think Van Ewijk, he's looking at Ellis Sims thinking, what are you going to do with it? There should be an understanding there. No, I think he should be on the front foot. I think he should be getting on the end of that little one round the corner there from Ellis Sims. But if you're a player that's trying to do things first time, all the time, you don't know what you're going to get. So it's a difficult one for the young fullback to go and can capitalise on that one there.
Coventry, remember, at Wolves in the FA Cup quarter-final in a couple of weekends' time. It's Cov's first quarter-final for 15 years. And it's on Saturday the 16th. And it's a 12:15 kickoff live on Talksport. We will bring you all 4 FA Cup quarter-finals that weekend, including exclusively Manchester United against Liverpool from Old Trafford. That's the Sunday afternoon 3:30 game. Plenty of live football between now and then, including more Championship action tomorrow. Huddersfield against Leeds in the Championship, the Yorkshire Derby with Dean Ashton alongside Talksport's Sam Matterface tomorrow. That's over on Talksport with a 12:30 kickoff. We played an hour tonight, and West Brom, if it stays this way, and there are a few signs that it won't, will have a 7-point cushion between themselves and 7th place Norwich. Johnston almost able to get it forward, just not quite enough pace on the ball for Fellows, and Binks could step up from the defensive line to get it away. Now Sims will take on Kipre. That's much better from the former Everton striker. He did well, held it up down by the corner flag, then lost out, and it goes out for a throw that will be taken on the Albion right over on the far touchline in front of the Rainbow stand. So 61 gone, West Brom 2, Coventry 0.
Yeah, I'm still I need more from Coventry, especially in this attack. And it's, in the middle third, they've seen a lot of the ball, keeping possession well, but they're posing no threat at all. West Brom are comfortable at this moment, and I want a bit more from West Brom as well. Go and get that third goal, but they don't need to. But like I say, they're completely in control of this game with and without the ball.
Matt Godden will be trying to attract his manager's attention, I'm sure. A player who scored 50 goals in Sky Blues colours at a rate of exactly 1 every 3 games when he comes on, because it will be his 150th appearance for the club. Waiting on the bench. The principal attacking option that Mark Robbins can call upon. Sky Blues trying to bring it forward now. The possession that they're having is in higher areas. They're seeing much more of the ball in West Brom territory than at any point prior to now. And the ball has gone out for a throw, which will be taken again on the Coventry left. Swerve back to halfway. Lati Baudière through the centre circle for Bobby Thomas. Thomas with the tall, ranging stride. Bring it forward. Hadji Wright almost able to get there, and had he done so, would have been able to turn and get a shot away. But Yukushlu can bring it forward for West Brom. Back he goes to Furlong. Furlong's ball just cannons off Diangana. And Coventry have quickly and cheaply got it back. Eccles to Palmer. Palmer sending one down towards the right for Van Ewijk. And a chance for him to run at the penalty area and take on Townsend. He's chipped it up, but it's easily headed away by Kipre. Now the cross split the difference between Sims and Wright. West Brom bring it away, and then Wallace has given a free kick away for a foul on Eccles. So Coventry will take it, and West Brom might have a problem. I think Townsend's down here.
Yeah, I think he's took a little a sore one there. But Van Ewijk there, if anything, it's the only option he had, other than to probably take a shot on himself. But I need more from Ellis Sims there. Hadji Wright's coming to the near post. Ellis Sims saying it all, which is perfectly fine. But you can't just be rooted. You've got to come and attack. It's a great little dink in from Van Ewijk.
West Brom are going to make a double change. Now we're going to see John Swift and Adam Reach come on. Swift, who has only got 1 goal in his last 16 games, but has been playing on occasion in this false 9 position in the absence of the strikers that we were talking about earlier. And Adam Reach is going to come on, a player who's made only a couple of league starts this season, both in January, but vastly experienced at this level as he approaches 400 second-tier games in his career. So 2 good men and experienced players to be able to bring on off the bench. Townsend makes his way straight down the tunnel. So that's a blow for the Baggies, that Connor Townsend, who has hardly missed a game over the course of the season, has been forced off through injury. Reach will replace him at left back. And the other change is going to see Swift on for Johnston and not Wallace. Yeah.
It's one of those things, if you're carrying, I don't know what the injury is. It's just what I'm hearing coming out of the West Brom camp, that he's getting injected. But like you say, I guess if you're feeling, if it's something that it's an operation in the summer and you've just got to try and get through it, then it makes no difference, I guess. But when you're 2-0 up, it's an opportunity to rest them.
Well, it's an opportunity they've passed up for the moment. So reach on for the injured Townsend, and Swift for Johnston. 2-0 to West Brom. A free kick here to Coventry midway inside the Baggies' half. It's going to be Torp to take it. Left arm above his head. Attacks the ball now. Swings it in. It's easily headed away by Kipre. And then Palmer has lost out, and the counter-attack could be on here for West Brom. 3 against 4 just for a moment. They'll get the bodies forward as quickly as they can. Out towards the left-hand side for the run of Fellows, who's come out to this near touchline now. But the pass wasn't good enough to find him, and then the retreating Wallace has fouled Torp. And Coventry have a free kick inside their own half.
It was a real opportunity, wasn't it? Fellows was full pelt there down this left-hand side, but the ball just wasn't accurate enough. I've got to say, defended well.
Laddie Bodieda Thomas over the halfway line for Van Ewijk, who gets a kind little touch off Adam Reach, but he worked it well in his favour. Palmer, right-footed effort. Nice cut spin on the shot and sent it dipping, but still relatively easily saved by his namesake Alex Palmer in the Albion goal.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad effort. We were right behind that, directly in line, and he's just come across the ball. All the spin and the curve was on the ball, but right at Palmer, who was comfortable. Good hands.
Well, he's got a good record here, Alex Palmer, the Albion goalkeeper. He's only conceded 3 in his last 6.5 games here at the Hawthorns. The player that had 6 loan spells away from the club before being able to finally establish himself as first choice keeper, which he did about 18 months or so ago, and he's hoping for what would be his 16th clean sheet of the season today, which is more than any other championship goalkeeper has had in the league this season. 66 gone, so he's almost 3/4 of the way there. Coventry looking for some inspiration and a way back into the game. Can Haji Wright supply it? Plays it off to his left-hand side for Torp. Right-footed rising drive from him, but Palmer had it covered. Waved the right hand at it, and the ball went over the bar and into the fans away to the right-hand side. We welcome listeners from Talksport back to proceedings here at the Hawthorns. It's West Brom 2, Coventry 0, with Mikey Johnston on 8 minutes and Grady Diangana 8 minutes before half-time. Chris Iwelumo, the former Scotland international striker, alongside me. Not too many signs of a Coventry fight back here, despite the fact they brought Haji Wright on.
No, it's not really kind of made the impact that you would think. That moment there, he's driving into defence. I think he'd done everything right. The set for Torp was excellent. He brought it onto the right, and with the quality that Torp has, he's got to work Alex Palmer in the West Brom goal there. So there is moments. They've had many chances, but they're just not clinical enough in that attacking third, Jim.
What they have been able to do is have better possession in the second half. They've had more of the ball. They've had it in more advanced areas, but they haven't forced any difficult saves out of Alex Palmer in the West Brom goal yet. As the Albion work their way forward towards the edge of the box here, they've been more than happy to sit by and large on the 2-0 lead. And knowing how good they are defensively, they've got a chance here to potentially create something. Bodies forward inside the box. It's laid off to the edge of the area for Diangana. He can't get a shot in. He can set up Iwelumo, whose effort is blocked. Now it comes out for Adam Reach, who's just recently come on as a substitute for Townsend. Right-footed curving effort from Fellows. He's claiming a deflection. There wasn't one. It's gone out of play for a goal kick. The raw statistics are these, Chris. Possession, 55-45. 13 shots to 5 for Coventry. A significant XG advantage as well. It sounds as though they should be on top, and yet it's so comfortable for West Brom.
No, it is. And like you say, they know how to handle games and manage games in this scenario as well. Very organised without the ball. They've been excellent. West Brom have had opportunities, but like you say, they've squandered them. Wrong decisions in that attacking third. It has to be better.
Well, West Brom making another double change. Vyman and Chalobah are coming on for Diangana and Iwelumo. The live commentary continues on Talksport 2 with Chris and myself, Jim Proudfoot. And if you've got the Talksport app, it's easy just to alternate between Talksport and Talksport 2 while the games are going on. We've got a full list of all the action coming up for you on the app as well over the course of the weekend here on Talksport. But here at the Hawthorns with 69 minutes gone, it is West Bromwich Albion 2, Coventry City 0. So those changes, Vyman on for Diangana, Chalobah on for Iwelumo, 2 more straight swaps, and still Wallace is playing through the pain barrier at the risk of labouring the point. But they've made 4 changes now. So Chalobah, a former England international, coming on into the heart of the midfield. Player has only started 6 of the 35 league games this season. Andy Weimann, that you were talking about earlier, a former teammate of yours on loan from Bristol City. Man that scored the winner against Birmingham recently in the local derby. And Weimann coming on for the last 20 minutes or so. That's a great first touch from him. He scooped it over the top of the Coventry back line. Fellows giving chase, and Thomas has surely played that back to his goalkeeper. And the referee says no back pass.
Well, I'm going to have to look at it again, but I just don't understand. You know, even the fans are asking for that. The referee's got to be better. He's up to speed.
Well, he's a really good referee, Lewis Smith. He's one of the most highly regarded young officials. He's barely turned 30. He's had a couple of Premier League games in the recent past. But Thomas, under pressure there, it did look as though he just fired that back at his goalkeeper. And it was a difficult one for the keeper to deal with. The fact that Wilson was so happy just to brazenly put his hands to it maybe suggests that maybe we've misread it and that the referee got it right. Haven't seen a replay as yet, but it did look as though it was a back pass. Here's Torp. Torp playing it down towards the right-hand side. If that was a mistake from the referee, it's just about his first tonight. He's good. He's a really good official, and you can see why he's being fast-tracked up to the elite jobs very quickly. Here's Ladi Baudier. And he's played it to his left-hand side for Binks. Binks out to De Silva. De Silva coming in off the left flank for Coventry. One goal will change the dynamic of this game if the Sky Blues can score it. They've set themselves up for a grandstand finish. Not too many signs of the goal at the moment. It's a clever little touch around the corner from Torp. De Silva, Casey Palmer. Palmer's low ball inside the penalty area. Keeper in the right place to knock it away. Ladi Baudier's the deepest of the Coventry outfield players, and he's only 15 outside the box as he recycles this. Play forward now towards Casey Palmer. Oh, Keeper's brought him down. Penalty. And here is the lifeline for the Sky Blues. Keeper committed, Casey Palmer caught, penalty to Coventry City.
Well, it's fantastic play from Coventry. I've got to say the way that Casey Palmer took that in his stride and just nicked it away from Kipri. If Kipri doesn't challenge, Casey Palmer's, I think, he's getting an opportunity at goal anyway, but it's a silly one. Committed to the challenge, Kipri goes to ground far too easily, far too early, twisted himself. It's a late challenge. There's no question about it being a penalty kick, Jim.
Well, Alex Palmer has saved one this season. That was from Millwall's Zian Fleming. Coventry have only scored one of the 3 penalties they've had in the league. And that was Haji Wright. And Haji Wright is going to take this one. So this to get Coventry on the board with 17 minutes to go. Did have a great late fight back against Leicester earlier this season, where they were a goal down with 10 minutes to go and came back and won it 3-1. What will they be able to do in the latter stages of this game? This is a crucial moment. Haji Wright stands in the centre of the D, now peels away to the left, runs towards the ball, a stuttering run, right-footed, sends the keeper the wrong way, and it is game on again here at the Hawthorns. Haji Wright from the spot, and it's West Brom 2, Coventry 1.
Excellent penalty. You know, I think you say he's very straight, but sends the keeper the wrong way, runs and gets the ball. And you know what? It has been better. You know, excellent bit of quality from Casey Palmer there just to invite the challenge, but just to take it in his stride. Excellent bit of quality.
12th goal of the season for Haji Wright, 59th of his career. And a game that West Brom are going to be keeping a clean sheet in. And Coventry certainly now believe. So here's Ladi Baudier. It is the Sky Blues fans that you can hear. We've made the short journey, about 25 miles or so, in their thousands here tonight. West Brom winning it back, just hoping to be able to complete the victory and maintain the control that they've had for such large swathes. One aberration though from Kipre, and as I mentioned, the dynamic has changed, and now Casey Palmer's got it again, and he'll play in Ellis Sims on the edge of the area. Oh, that didn't miss by much. Rising right-footed drive. Alex Palmer had no answer to that, and it cleared the bar by about a foot 18 inches.
Yeah, it's different class. Ellis Sims asking that question in behind, followed all the way, marched all the way by Eric Peters, and I think that pressure, I'm expecting him to go across goal, but he's went for that near top right hand corner there, but the ball was always rising, Jim. I think Alex Palmer in the end was quite comfortable, but it's a great little ball from Casey Palmer, great first touch from the big man. I think he's got to go across goal there.
So here's Alex Palmer playing out from the back for the Albion. Long ball, just bouncing a couple of times away from all of his teammates and straight through to the Coventry goalkeeper, Ben Wilson. And balled out for Thomas. Now Carlos Corberan just needing the Albion to keep their heads here, because Coventry have slowly but surely been building up a head of steam. The last 6-7 minutes or so have been arguably their best of the game, certainly their best of the second half. They've had one reward for it. Will they be able to garner another one? Right, playing it back to his goalkeeper. And now played out from the back to Thomas. Thomas clipping it forward, right-footed, brought under control by Reach. And Reach gets it again. Casey Palmer steaming into a challenge. Reach just turned away from him, the former Middlesbrough man. Now he can take it into Coventry territory and play back. Well, a long ball over the top from Peters wasn't the best. Now West Brom can't get anything to stick up top at all. They've not been able to get Andy Vyman into the game or John Swift. And Swift is playing pretty much through the middle. Wallace has gone out towards the right flank now. Coventry maintaining their possession and doing so with Torp over on the far touchline. Wallace having a little nibble. Torp has brilliantly turned past him. It's a great pirouette. And then Casey Palmer's lost it. West Brom bring it forward again. One back well in the heart of the midfield. Palmer looking for Wright, can't find him. And the good work from Thomas comes to nothing. West Brom turn it into space, and that space is occupied by Laffy Baudier. The home crowd just getting a little bit restless as if they can see this unravelling in front of their eyes. Ball in towards Haji Wright, and that's deflected off a defender. It was Peters that did well, got the block, and Alex Palmer makes a comfortable save.
Well, it's brilliant from Coventry, isn't it? Great ball in from De Silva. Haji Wright gambling, getting there first, getting the contact. But like you say, Eric Peters defensively goes all the way with him and just takes his sting out the ball for Alex Palmer just to come out and claim. But it's a little bit it's got a little bit scrappy in that attacking third for West Brom. A little one touch round the corner when there's no one asking for it or calling for it. Andy Vyman and Fellows, that misunderstanding. It has to be better. It's 2-1, it's game on. They have to be up for it.
Reach, Yakushlu. Reach. Play back towards the halfway line for Kipre, a man that gave the penalty away. He can turn it forward. Vyman's going to be able to bring it forward here for the Albion. Laffy Baudier comes across and he's going to be able to take it down towards the left-hand touchline and get it away, but in doing so, he's just presented it to Furlong. There's space for Nathaniel Chalabar, played forward by Reach, but it took a deflection off Eccles and goes through for his goalkeeper. And Coventry are very quick to turn and get the ball going forward again. Van Ewijk. Corberan, wanting to make his final change, is calling somebody over. It might be Carl Bartley that's going to get the nod, or Shemi Ajayi potentially. It's hard to see who's pointing to. Van Ewijk getting in inside the box. It's knocked away. Chalobah doing well defensively. Now played down towards Swift. Swift on the left-hand side of the box. Reach. Back out for Swift. Former Reading man riding the first challenge and then making a second. He has won the free kick for the initial foul on him, but his momentum as he went down after the challenge from Thomas took him into Van Ewijk, and that caused a problem for the Coventry right back, who was hurt for a moment. He's back on his feet now, but that was a sore one. It will be a free kick to West Brom for the initial foul by Thomas. 11 to go, it's 2-1.
Yeah, I think John Swift done very, very well there. I think just needed as well. You see Carlos Corberan, a little bit panicked, a little bit stressed. Kyle Bartley coming on now.
So it's Bartley for Fellows. So that will be a change that requires a tactical reshuffle. The winger coming off and a centre-half coming on. He's not played the last 4 games since he picked up a calf injury against Ipswich. A vastly experienced centre-half who's in his 6th season with the Baggies, and he will come on at the heart of defence.
Yeah, I don't understand it, Jim. You know, I think, okay, you're bringing Kyle Bartley on, but you're also kind of conceding that, right, okay, we're going to just, this is it, we're going to sit and defend and try and protect the lead. And Coventry are kind of in their groove at the minute, really kind of moving the ball well, getting down the flanks, and good end product coming into the box as well.
Well, with the personnel that they've got on now, they could switch to playing 3 centre-halves, or they could play Eric Peters at left-back and reach further forward down the left-hand side, but it does look as though they're going to be playing with a 5. Reach and Furlong at wing-back, and Bartley coming on as sweeper, with Peters and keeper of the markers either side of him. It's played forward by Palmer, brought down well under control by Reach, and Eccles had a little nibble to try and stop him and pull him back. He couldn't. Weimann making a run to the edge of the 6-yard box, but the cross from Wallace was far too steep and sailed straight out of play for a Coventry City throw.
Very unlike Wallace. Now, excellent break as well. I've got to say Adam Reach, great little touch as well. Cuts across his man. Way to pass out to Wallace was outstanding. And usually right on the money as well. He's got bodies, breaking the neck to get on the end of it. Wasteful from Wallace.
Van Aywide to take the throw for Coventry. Trailing by 2-1. Into the feet of Hadji Wright. He had his pocket picked very well there. Swift wins a corner. He's been sharp since coming on, John Swift. And it's been a good little cameo from him. And he's won a corner, which is the Albion's second of this second half and their 4th of the game.
Yeah, he's been very sharp. Quality, trying to get in behind there. Never really had too many options in there, so plays for the corner.
And it's a corner that Swift himself will take. Bartley and Chalobah forward, Kipre forward as well, standing inside the 6-yard box, in towards the near post. Really good defensive header came from Sims. A second header from Reach just went up rather than forward towards the edge of the box, and that allowed Coventry to push forward. Thought he'd won a throw. Eccles, I beg your pardon, he hasn't. And it's a throw which the Albion will take on this near side. Reach just retrieving something that had been thrown onto the field. Reach now wasting a few seconds before restarting the play with this throw. And then a free kick is given. Mowat, the player that was brought down. And West Brom have this opportunity again just to run a few seconds off the clock, get bodies forward if they want, but the centre-halves are all staying back. It looks as though it's going to be worked short, and it is. Mowat down towards Reach. Reach down the line. Good movement again from Swift. Weimann making a darting near post run, peels back. It's played in towards Chalobah. Chalobah onto his right foot. Couldn't get himself into a shooting position. He might now as it's played back to him by Furlong. He still doesn't. Abdicates the responsibility and then gives it away. And Palmer will play it forward. He was caught from behind by Chalobah, and with no advantage, the referee will stop play and will give a free kick to Coventry midway inside their own half. 7 minutes for Coventry to get back into this. They trailed 2-1.
Yeah, they have to throw everything at it. Just Chalobah there, you know, how many opportunities does he want to kind of have a shot at goal, and he still refuses it. And poor possession, but reacted well.
Eccles plays it out of the Coventry left-hand side for Binks. And Binks towards De Silva. Latibaudiere shows for him. And West Brom put in the pressure on. Coventry just hoping to be able to create the openings and try and get themselves back into this. It would be a big point if it were to come. But at the moment, it's still West Bromwich Albion who have the lead. Now, if it stays this way, Albion will have 59 points. Hull 55, Norwich, Preston 52, and Coventry 51. Tomorrow, Preston take on Hull. Norwich are at home to Sunderland. They're the other games involving the clubs in this little quintet who are chasing those 2 playoff places along with the top 4. And you can hear news of all the goals as they go in on Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, joined by Ray Parler and Scott Minto tomorrow. Also keeping up to date with everything in the Premier League as well, including Forest, Liverpool, Everton, West Ham and Spurs Palace, which is our live game exclusive to Talksport 2 tomorrow afternoon. You won't hear it anywhere else. Also from 5 tomorrow on Talksport, the only place you can hear a full classified results service. 6 minutes to go tonight. And it's still 2-1 to West Brom. Peters hangs his head as a long ball sent forward, sails over Weimann's head, and Coventry are going to be able to bring it out from the back. Mark Robbins will be more confident now, Chris, than at any previous stage of the game that they can get something from here.
Yeah, they will. You know, I think they've had to kind of weather the storm there. West Brom using the ball well, but I think they've looked more of a threat. Ellis Sims better from the big man as well, making it stick, allowing Coventry to get up the pitch.
Eccles, Palmer, Eccles again. Down on the right-hand side, Van Ewyk's given it away and was quick to berate his teammates. West Brom can win it back in the midfield. Mowat, Chalobah struggling to get to the pace of the game since coming on. Looked as though he might have fouled Thomas there. The referee, well positioned, says play on. West Brom bring it away. Played forward towards Weimann, just given a little nibble in from behind by Lati Bodier. Play will go on with West Brom bringing it down the left-hand touchline with Swift, but still can't get inside Coventry territory. And Eccles and Torp between them have done well to curtail the progress of Mowat. He goes out of play for a throw which will be taken on the West Brom left, but only 5 minutes to go. Will be a bit of stoppage time to be added on, but probably only 9 minutes of playing time now for West Brom to hang on to what would be their 12th home win of the season. 11 games left after tonight. They've still got to play each of the bottom 6. They will look at what's to come and feel that they've done a lot of the hard work already. Much more still to go, but they're running the easiest of those chasing the playoff places. And Southampton and Hull are certainly harder run-ins than anybody else. Albion playing it out from the back. Mowat down towards Eric Peters, the bearded Dutchman, forward into the feet of Swift, who, having lost possession, was forced to push Eccles over. And Coventry have got a free kick on the right-hand touchline, midway inside the West Brom half. 4 to go, 2-1 to the Baggies. Yeah, it's quality from Eccles on the front foot, really giving Swift a hard time, nowhere to go. Wins possession and gets Coventry a free kick, but has to be end product. Well, the free kick was taken short. It fell for Casey Palmer, whose ball in was a little bit too low, and that took a deflection. Ended up at the feet of Wallace, who hammers it away. Lati Bodier wins it on halfway. Then played back out of the Coventry left-hand side for De Silva. And the Sky Blues will come again with Torp. Torp, back for Lati Bodier. He's played it across the face of Eccles down to Thomas. And still Coventry, stringing the passes together. Lose out as Sims can't get it to stick. Swift, Mowat, won back well by Thomas, had a good second half. Torp, Sims again, running to the edge of the area. This time he lets fly, and it sails over the bar about 5 rows back into the crowd. Well, West Brom are going to... They're making their own errors, unforced errors as well. Mowat giving the ball away, not reacting properly. Great little take from Ellis Sims as well. Back to goal, 25 yards on the angle as well. He turns. He's always leaning back. He's got to shoot it through. He's got to get the body over it. Yeah, it'll go between legs, but it'll cause Alex Palmer problems there. He's always leaning back. It was always going over. Scored in his last 2 away games, Ellis Sims. That hat-trick against Maidstone in the Cup as well. The first Coventry hat-trick in the FA Cup since Darren Huckabee back in 1999. No goal for him so far tonight. Looked as though as Alex Palmer's long goal kick was taken, there might have been a push on Furlong. Play goes on. Lati Bodier chesting it down, but it wasn't a good touch. Weimann was very quickly on the scene. Binks hurriedly, but effectively gets it away. Haji Wright trying to hold it up. Wins a throw, which will be taken over on the far touchline by the Coventry fullback De Silva. De Silva working it down the touchline. The play back, Torp can get it under control. Torp to halfway. Lati Bodier bring it forward through the midfield. But again, not quite the accuracy on the ball that was needed. Adam Reach guilty as he brought it away of ball watching, and he very quickly lost out to the fullback Van Ewijk. Coventry get it to Binks. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to go. 2-1 to West Brom. Eccles came close in the first half. They had 2 or 3 attempts in that first half that really weren't too far away, Coventry, and ended up going in 2-0 down. Van Ewijk on the right-hand side, level with the edge of the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. Pulling it back here for Thomas. Scored an own goal last week. Can he get himself on the score sheet again here? Set back instead for Eccles. A long-range, right-footed effort from him. Took a little nick on his way through. And Coventry, as we go into the 90th minute, have a corner. Yeah, I don't mind that at all from Eccles. Distance from goal there, about 24, 25 yards. Chalobah slides in, takes a shot on little nick, but I just think West Brom now, they're getting deeper and deeper and deeper, allowing Coventry a lot of space in front of them. 2-1 to West Brom. 40 seconds of the 90 minutes remain. It's a right-footed in-swinging corner with plenty of air underneath it. Oh, Palmer just saw it taken out of his hands. It was hammered away from behind him and out for a Coventry throw. Looked as though it was going to be a relatively routine take, but just went through his hands. The throw taken intelligently forward towards Haji Wright. It's down on the byline, trying to win a corner. Spin on the ball, actually, make sure when it goes out it's a throw. And it's a throw that he will look to try and take quickly. Also, a throw that looked like a foul throw. The play goes on. Casey Palmer, back for Wright. Torp, back to Wright again. 5 minutes of added time, we're in them now. Palmer's got it once more for Coventry in a central position. It's worked back for Torp. Can't get a right-footed shot. It's a really good sliding challenge to get it away by John Swift. But Coventry are going to come again with Thomas. Thomas for Casey Palmer. Torp wants it in defeat. Palmer went the other way. Chalobah can get it away. And the counter-attack could be on. At least from a West Brom point of view, they've got it to sanctuary in the safety of halfway. Weimann couldn't make the most of it. And the momentum came out of the counter-attack. But it took a touch off Van Ewijk. And it's out of play for a throw to West Brom with 4 minutes of stoppage time to go.
Yeah, I'm looking at Weimann there. He's getting the ball on the halfway line. He's only got one man to beat, but he turns and goes back towards his own goal. Loses the ball, but very, very fortunate that it goes out for a throw-in in West Brom's favour.
That's a great flick on by Weimann. Swift taking it on. Thinking about running down towards the corner flag. He's checked and pulled it back for Wallace. Quick feet from Wallace to get away from one Coventry player, but he couldn't beat the second. And he goes out for a throw that Van Ewijk will take. We're in the 92nd minute. 5 minutes being added on here at the Hawthorns on Talksport 2. West Brom 2, Coventry 1. And that Haji Wright penalty setting up a decent finale here. After it looked as though West Brom were going to get the points relatively comfortably. That's well played by the Baggies goalkeeper Palmer, who made that he was going to come out to the edge of the penalty area and kick the ball. That just sown a seed of doubt in Haji Wright's mind. Then he quickly backpedaled back inside the box so he could pick it up and now waste a good 6-7 seconds on the back of it. Good goalkeeping.
Yeah, Haji Wright's got to be a little bit more savvy than that though, Jim. He's got to go full pelt and force Alex Palmer into either putting the foot through it there, but yeah, quality goalkeeping.
3 minutes to go. West Brom 2, Coventry 1. The Baggies 3 minutes away from being 7 points inside the top 6. Darnell Furlong to take a throw. Down the touchline for Weimann. Binks steering it high up in the air. Ladibodiere heads it further away. Back out towards Wallace, who's going to play the full 95 minutes. He's got possession, taking it down towards the corner flag. He ran out of room, though, laterally. And it has gone out for a throw that De Silva takes quickly. And now Eccles. Eccles in the heart of the midfield. Play down towards Thomas. Thomas controlling the ball, bringing it over halfway. Van Ewijk trying to get the better and commit Adam Reach. Neither player too sure where the ball was, and then Reach has caught him off the ball. And it's a free kick on the right-hand touchline to Coventry. And this is the opportunity to be able to flood the penalty area and send a deep one in. Reach is booked, and it might all come down to this, Chris.
Yeah, it's just a bit quality, isn't it? Beat that first man. Everyone's going up now. Got to ask the question. Silly challenge from Adam Reach on Van Ewijk there. I think it's just, it's accidental as well. He's watching the ball, and he just comes down on the Achilles of Van Ewijk.
So, 7 Coventry players inside the penalty area. Torp preparing to take it. Right foot is, he got enough height on it, he hasn't. It's headed away by the Baggies back line. It's going to go out of play for a Coventry throw. 90 seconds of stoppage time remain. Thomas going across to take that throw. Leaves it in the end for De Silva, and Thomas will stay forward. De Silva taking the throw, goes back. Binks. Coventry's need is desperate. High ball inside the area. Sims going up for it. Who got the last touch there? It's an Albion defender. It's another corner. And by the time it's taken, we'll be in the final minute of stoppage time. 2-1 to West Brom, but they're hanging on now.
Yeah, they are. Eric Peters got the touch there under pressure from Ellis Sims. Kyle Bartley's come on. He's just took that central position, organising and making sure everyone's switched on.
And here comes Ben Wilson, the Coventry keeper, who has scored before. Can he do it again? Not with a delivery like that, he can't. It was a terrible corner under the circumstances from Torp. Far too low and flat. Van Ewijk first to it, turns the long ball forward, but the offside flag is up against Thomas. And the Albion get a free kick, and with it, they will get the 3 points because they'll be able to see it out from here.
So I think Torp there in that situation, if anything, go too big rather than too short. Your goalkeepers come up. So if anything, if the error's going to be anything, you put too much on it, and you can possibly keep it alive still, Jim.
Yeah, there was no chance of winning a second ball with that one because it was so easily knocked away. Now the Baggies fans believe, because the 95 minutes are up, and this might be the last touch of the game from Alex Palmer. He sends it forward. Weimann going up for it. He just caught Thomas. Swift putting the pressure on Eccles, who's won it back. But that will be that. And West Brom's MO remains the same. Far from spectacular, but they've got enough. And they've got the job done here at the Hawthorns yet again. They were made to work hard for it late in the game after Haji Wright's penalty got Coventry back into it. But West Brom's 12th home win of the campaign means they've got a 7-point cushion inside the top 6. They're looking set fair for a place in the playoffs. For Coventry, back-to-back league defeats after such a good winter has just seen the wheels come off a little. They'll regroup, but West Brom take another big step forward, and they've beaten Coventry tonight by 2-1.
Jim, thank you very, very much. An important result tonight for West Bromwich Albion. A huge result, really, when you think about it. Deserved, got their noses in front early, held on late. A vital 3 points that leaves them 7 points clear of 7th place, consolidating a playoff position. Chris Iwelumo, are they worthy winners for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think with and without the ball were excellent. Got the goals, knew how to manage the game, and of course that Kipre challenge put a little bit more pressure on them, but he's got the answers, hasn't he? Kyle Bartley comes on, organises, goes and wins his headers. Yeah, worthy winners, definitely.
Silly challenge from Cedric Kipre, to be honest, on Casey Palmer. It gave Haji Wright, the substitute, the chance to reduce arrears, and he duly took that opportunity. It made things scary late on. Again, they rode things out, but it didn't have to be that way, did it?
No, it didn't. I thought they were completely in control. Yeah, Coventry were looking a little bit more threatening. You know, I think Ellis Sims, probably the latter part of the game, was linking up quite well. We had Casey Palmer, I think, was like getting on the ball a lot. He's got a fantastic eye for a pass. But they had Torp has a couple of opportunities from distance as well. So it was they posed a threat. But I just thought West Brom invited that pressure with that silly challenge from Kipre. But they got the job done, and that's what it's all about, putting 3 points on the board. And consistently they've done that here at the Hawthorns.
What next for Coventry then? They find themselves not moving in the table, still 9th, still at 4 points off the top 6, but the weekend could see them drift even further now. Of course, they've played a game more than those around them, but they haven't played that great of late either. They're dropping points once again. Do you feel they're faltering now?
Yeah, well, it's one of them. They're not getting results. You know, I think what went against them when they lost against Preston, all the teams round about never dropped points, you know, if it was winning and drawing games. So hopefully that won't be the case for them tomorrow. But there's still a lot of points to be played for. They have to get back to winning ways, Hugh. They have to put pressure on the teams above and start looking up, or it's just going to be a nothing campaign. They're going to be in no man's land in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, big games moving forward for Coventry City. They will expect to pick up points next time out at home against Rotherham. They then go to Watford, so it's an opportunity for them to build some momentum before they head into that FA Cup tie against Premier League side Wolves. But yes, I think in the end it was the perfect evening for Carlos Corberán and his players. Chris Iwelumo, thank you very much, and Jim Proudfoot for that commentary.